for the next year.
So very politely, can you answer my question? Do you need a new goalkeeper if you're going to?
Yeah, I know you want one question, but you choose the questions, I choose the answer. My answer is that we need to improve every position on the field. Goalkeeper is the same. We can work with Andre. If the team performs, if our team scores more goal and is more danger on the forwards and the strikers, we will defend better. Onana will defend better. Andre Onana already proved that he's a top player in Inter.
We'll get back to Ruben Amorim in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, if something is on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this little clip, well, I mean, basically, it's the pre-match press conference for Ruben Amorim before Man United's big match versus Lyon. And it's not really a pre-match press conference. It's Ruben Amorim being grilled about Andre Onana throughout the whole thing. And it's really nice to watch because they just keep on pressing him. And you can tell Ruben Amorim, he's getting a little bit kind of, you know, it's like he just wants to like bite them and be like, stop asking questions about Onana. But they just keep on asking questions. And to be fair, they have got a right to ask these questions. But anyway, he does deal with it in a very calm and respectful manner. He keeps his dignity and all that stuff. However, he does get a little bit bitey. Still, have a look, see what you think, thoughts in the comments, and stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on this whole situation because the Big D's got the match tomorrow and he can't wait. Here's Ruben.
Hi Ruben. First of all, are you able to provide an update on the severity of Joshua Zirkzee injury?
Joshua is out for the season, so he's not going to play more this season. Let's prepare him to the next one.
How's he doing mentally? That must be a huge...
It's tough. It's tough, especially in this moment. I think he's improving in all aspects of the game. So it's hard for any player to stop. But it's football, and he has to be ready now to recover.
There's been a lot of talk about the goalkeepers in the last week. Will you be able to confirm who's starting?
Onana will play tomorrow.
Just on the other players that are absent, do you expect Matthijs de Ligt to be back before the end of the season, or is he likely to be out for the season?
No, Mate is going to return still this season. Aiden is out for this game. He had a small issue in the same spot during training, contact with a teammate. Johnny Evans returning to the training, but is not available for this game, and some other players that we have to manage the minutes.
We saw Ahmad doing some ball work. I mean, do you expect him to play this month, or would it be probably in May?
Yeah, this month I think is not ready for this month, but we hope to have Ahmad still this season.
Thank you.
She's my phone.
Sorry.
Just in terms of Andre, what do you have to think about before you make a decision? Because it's clearly a big decision.
No, I just think, first of all, as a coach and also as a former player, I'll try to do things that can help a player in this situation. So sometimes we talk about managing players physically. We have to manage them also mentally. But then they have to return to competition. And Onana is ready. He had one weekend that I felt that was better for him to not play, and a good thing for all to play. And this week, my thinking was to put Onana to play.
Harry, we know how big this competition now is for Manchester United. What is your view of United being in this situation where you're in the bottom half of the table and this competition is the only thing that can save it from being a disastrous season?
No, obviously it's been a disappointing season. There's no doubt about it. From the start of the season, we've been far too inconsistent. I think the performances have picked up of late. However, I still think there's key aspects in a game where us players have got to take more responsibility and got to change them in our favour. There's been a lot of games that have been 50-50 and we've ended up on the bad end of a result, and that's something that we do need to work on as a team, as a group of players. But of course, yeah, tomorrow night is an important night for us in the competition. A big game, Old Trafford, European night, and one that we're looking forward to.
Harry, what does it mean to a player at United to actually finish the season with a trophy? How important is it that you actually have something tangible to show at the end of the season?
Yeah, of course, it's so important. There's no doubt about it that if we do win the Europa League, it's still going to be a disappointing season for us players. But winning that would be a big bonus. Playing for this club demands trophies. And winning the Europa League would be a special trophy to win, of course. It gives us access to the Champions League next season, something that we obviously can't gain through the Premier League because our results haven't been good enough. So, no, it's important that we win trophies at this club every competition that we play in. We've got to try and win, and this is the only competition that we're left in. So, of course, tomorrow night's a big game for us. We know that, and it's one that we're looking forward to.
Ruben, a lot's been made of what it means in the short term, but also in the long term. Already mid-April, are you thinking of next season, whether you qualify for Champions League or whether you don't? Do you have a plan A and a plan B?
I think it's more about the budget. I think that is important when you are planning the next season. Champions League can change everything, but you can see it in both ways. So if you have Champions League, you have to. It's going to be tough to play against top teams on Wednesday and then top teams in Premier League. We are in the moment that you can feel it, that the team needs a lot of work. A lot of work means a lot of time to train. So you can see it both ways. If you don't have Champions League, we want Champions League. We want to win the title. Is the most important thing. Is the best thing. But if you don't have Champions League, you can think that you will have full weeks to rebuild the team and to have more time to work. So that is important when we are going to make the plan for the next season. Is really important. It will change everything.
Ruben, what is the process when it comes to you picking your goalkeeper? Do you just pick yourself, or do you consult George Vital and the other coaches as well?
Yeah, of course. The staff is there. Is not just to be there. Of course, I have conversations, and then I have my feeling as a coach, as a former player. Then I'm trying to imagine the game because they have, of course, they are defending a goal, but they have different characteristics. So I make the evaluation the same way that I make for the other players. Of course, the other players, the way we want to play is more with me. Of course, I have a conversation with the staff, but of course, Craig and Vital has a huge impact in my decision.
Dave. Hi, Ruben. Just back on Andre. Is there a danger that taking the decision you did for the Newcastle game, does that not put him under even more pressure and more scrutiny when he comes back tomorrow night?
Yeah, that is the
dilemma.
Not just the dilemma, but this is the big factor on being a coach. Everything you do has two ways, and you can, if he's going to be really good tomorrow, I'm sure of that. But if it's the other way, people will say that it was a bad decision. So we never know. I'm trying to be clear on things and try to make the evaluation be really simple, not overthinking. And when I imagine the game and I see Andre Onana, he had 1 weekend that he rest. Now he's ready to return to the competition, and I chose Andre to start this game.
And just on the Europa League, you obviously want to win the tournament. But is this team and squad good enough to play in the Champions League next season, given you're going to finish in the bottom half of the Premier League?
If you look at this moment, I think we are not ready to cope, to be really competitive in Premier League and to cope with Champions League. I think it's really clear, and you have to be really clear. But then you play in one club, you should fight for this competition, you should be on Champions League. If you have Champions League, you know that you have a different budget to try to put a better team for the next season. But this team with new players will need time to work. So I think it's something that we'll discover next year, hopefully.
Ruben, do you need a new goalkeeper this summer, or are you happy with the goalkeepers you have here?
No, I think we need to improve. So we cannot look to the team of Manchester United and say we are in this position in the league. We have been really underperforming this season, and you cannot change all the players. What we should do is to improve any position on the team with the players that we have and try to bring different characteristics for the next year.
So very politely, can you answer my question? Do you need a new goalkeeper if you're going to?
Yeah, I know you want one question, but you choose the questions, I choose the answer. My answer is that we need to improve every position on the field. Goalkeeper is the same. We can work with Andre. If the team performs, if our team scores more goal and is more danger on the forwards and the strikers, we will defend better. Onana will defend better. Andre Onana already proved that he is a top player in Inter. So he has a pass. Altai the same thing in Fenerbahce. Sometimes you have some seasons that we are underperforming. If we are going like, if any player is underperforming, you have to change everything. That is not the process that we need now.
I respect that, but he consistently has made mistakes for Manchester United.
Yeah, but again...
So it's not just one season. So again, you're a coach. You're saying there's a possibility maybe you might get a new keeper in the summer?
No, what I'm saying, we are going to make that evaluation for any position in the squad. And if we are talking about mistakes, you can see my record. My record is the worst one in our team. So I'm also underperforming, and I think I'm the right guy to coach the team. So I think the same for Andre.
Hi, Noah, Ziggo Sport Netherlands. A question to the coach. Can you give us an update on Matthijs de Ligt? And do you think that he will return before the end of the season?
Yeah, he's going to return until the end of the season. He has some pain. He finished the game when he against Nottingham, so sometimes it's something that we need to be sure that he's in the right moment to return to competition. He's working really, really hard, and he's a tough guy, so we expect to have Mata in the next weeks.
A question for Harry, please, if I may. What's it like as defender to play in front of Andre, and also when there are issues with saves or whatever, is it a kind of robust conversation that you have with him? You've been a captain of this club, or is it more of an arm around the shoulder?
No, I think first and foremost, Andre has proved in his past that he's an excellent goalkeeper. He's proved it at Inter. He's won numerous trophies, played in Champions League finals. And during a career, you always have spells where you go ups and downs, and you find yourself a little bit out of form. And it's about how you build yourself back in and find that confidence to perform again. I think at the moment he's probably feeling that everything's going against him. But you take game by game, and I'm sure he's going to be there tomorrow night. He's a big personality, a big character, and he'll be looking forward to the game. He'll want to show everyone again what he's about. And playing in front of Andre, it's great. I have confidence in Andre. Like I said, he's had a fantastic career. He's got great experience, and we all know he's an excellent goalkeeper.
Just on Andre again, Ruben, you said that you've talked to your coaching staff about him. Have you spoken to him personally, and did you need that conversation to be convinced that he can come back and perform on Thursday night?
That's when I made that decision in the last week, and I talked before that decision. I talked with Andre, and that is important for me to explain the player, for him to understand what I'm thinking. And then sometimes the player is saying one thing and I understand it is a different thing. Sometimes it's my feeling as a coach that can make my decision more than what they are saying to me, because sometimes they want to feel to show like they are really confident, and I feel it in the other way. So I'm giving just an example. So it's I have the conversation, but then it's my decision in the end.
But having spoken to him, you are convinced and quite happy that he's good to go on Thursday night?
Yeah, I have that feeling, for sure. If not, I just thinking about the team. The team is the most important thing. I'm not putting Andre because I think Andre deserves to return to competition. I'm just thinking about the game is really important for us.
Last question, Rob.
For Harry, please, if I can. Obviously, all the questions are about Andre. The spotlight is on him. You've had situations at this club where it's been you with the questions and the spotlight on you. Can I ask what that's like, and how do you deal with that at this club?
Try your best to ignore it all. Focus on your job. Come in on a daily basis and do your best. I always said to myself, that's only what you can do. Tomorrow night is another game of football, and you go on that pitch and you give absolute everything. And when you walk off, you say to yourself, I've left everything out there, and no matter how you perform, that's only what you can do. And it's the same for any player who wears this badge. It comes with a responsibility to perform. And when you don't perform, and when the league results aren't good enough, there's people who obviously do come under the spotlight. I've been in that situation myself. But like I said, only what you can do is day in, day out, do your best, work as hard as possible, and take each game as it comes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, as I said before, the journalists have got every right, really, to ask him about Andre Onana, because Andre Onana not only has been rubbish this season, but, you know, in that specific clip there, when he grills him, like, he's been crap for 2 seasons. Like his mistakes are just weird mistakes. It's really weird with Andre Onana. He seems to be able to do the hard saves really well and really easily, but the simple things, he just doesn't. I don't know what it is. He just does he switch off? I don't get it. It's just weird. Like a little pass back and it's in the net, or like a missed kick and it's in the net, or he kicks it in his own net, or he just kind of jumps over the ball or something. It's really strange. I've seen clips of him playing for other clubs where he's doing weird stuff as well. I don't get it. I actually don't get it. I mean, it's just really weird. Ruben, you know, he handled those questions well. When he was asked point blankly, is he going to be looking for a new goalkeeper, he was very diplomatic. I think we all know that United are going to be looking for a new goalkeeper, because whether Ruben Amorim likes it or not, I don't think he'll get the final say on whether or not Onana stays. I think Omar Barada and Wilcox and Sir Jim will be looking at that situation and thinking, he's just not good enough. And they're going to go and find someone else and just replace him and say, Ruben, there you go. And I don't think Andre Onana has given Ruben Amorim a lot of ammunition for him to fight for him. Because, see, the thing is, the dynamic at Man United now is the manager is not the be-all and end-all. And that's what people need to understand now with Manchester United and with football in general, but particularly with Manchester United, because when Alex Ferguson was in charge, he was the boss. That was it. The Glazers might have owned the club, but Alex Ferguson was the boss. But he'd earned the right to be the boss. You know, he was a serial winner and all of that. And plus, towards the end, he was effectively a director of football. So he was able to have final say on everything to do with football at the club, okay? And we've just been trying to replace Alex Ferguson with another Alex Ferguson, and the people that we've brought in, we've almost treated them as if they are Alex Ferguson. We've been giving them the final say, but those people that we've been replacing Alex Ferguson with are not fit for purpose for the Alex Ferguson role, that is. And there's been a misunderstanding of what Alex Ferguson's role was, and he was, in effect, at the end, well, throughout his time at United, really, a director of football that coaches. That was what Alex Ferguson was. See, Ruben Amorim is not a director of football in any way, shape or form. He's a head coach. That is it. So he's given, he's given players to work with. That's it. At the moment, that's it. I mean, he's going to say to the powers that be, well, I need a certain player. Fair enough. And there is going to be some discussions, but he's not getting final say. He's going to present Sir Jim, Barada, Wilcox, Vivaldi, a profile of the kind of player that he needs for his system, and then they're going to go and recruit accordingly. Okay? But they are not going to tolerate underperformers. Now, as I say, if Andre Onana had shown enough during his time at Man United that he was worth persevering with, then Ruben Amorim, if he liked him, of course, could go to Sir Jim and Barada and Vivaldi and Wilcox and say, look, I know you're thinking about letting him go, but I really like him. Let me work with him a little bit more and let's see what happens. But he hasn't done that. So And Ruben Amorim doesn't have enough stock at Manchester United yet to be able to sort of die on that hill, so to speak. So, yeah, I think time's up for Andre Onana. Andre Onana is in the same boat as Marcus Rashford now, really, but in a slightly different way. I mean, I don't get the impression that Andre Onana is not trying. I just think he's just not good enough. I just think that he's just not good enough. Whereas Marcus Rashford, he was good enough, but he just kind of stopped trying. He was burnt out with Man United, so to speak, and Jadon Sancho just didn't try throughout his time at United. I can't recall one good game. Not really. Maybe one in his time at United. But the point I'm making is that Andre Onana's time is up, and you know, those guys have got every right to ask him those questions because he needs to go. And as I've said this before, and this is what I read, Omar Barada has got a 2-season rule, and that is any kind of player that... I don't know if you saw those balloons. I don't know if I should be happy or if I should be terrified, because Pennywise the Clown used to terrify the Big D, but at the same time, it's the Big D's birthday on Friday, so maybe AI is playing tricks with Big D, which is even more scary because the Big D's seen the Terminator 2. Terminator 2 and Terminator 2. Wow, that's strange. AI. Anyway, let's get back to the point. What was the Big D saying? That was freaky. Anyway, yeah, so he's got a 2-season rule, and that rule is if any player that's bought has 1, maybe 2 seasons to deliver the goods. If they don't deliver the goods after that, they are out. So I think Andre Onana's on the way out. I think they're going to be looking for someone, and rightly so. He's had his chance. He's had a go. He's just not good enough. But hey-ho, I mean, it's nice to hear that Diallo is kicking a ball. Hopefully we can get past Lyon, and hopefully we can play a Europa League semi-final, and hopefully Diallo will be available for those games as well, because, you know, we need a little bit of a creative impetus towards the end of the season now that Joshua Zirkzee is out for the season, which is a bit of a blow, to be fair, because he was playing well in the Europa League. Not so fussed about the league, but because the league's finished, but we need all the help that we can get. So Joshua Zirkzee not being available is a bitter blow. And that being said, it could be an opportunity for Chido to get a run out, and hopefully he gets a run out against Lyon, and hopefully he does well. And if he does well, then hopefully we get through. Matthijs de Ligt, we need Matthijs de Ligt back. He's been one of our standout performers this year. I really like Matthijs de Ligt. Lead from the back, full of experience, still young. Yeah, he's a warrior. We need him back as soon as possible, really. So yeah, big game tomorrow. Big game. I really hope we get through, because the Big D won't have a lot to talk about if we don't. Can't be all negative on @TheBigD_. We need some positivity, because it's not the transfer window season yet. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, it's going to be 50-50 against Lyon, because, especially if Onana's playing, you know, he'll make one mistake and the crowd will turn on him. I'm telling you, if he makes one mistake, the crowd is going to turn. It's make or break for Onana now. It's make or break. If he plays a blinder tomorrow, it might just give him a lifeline at Man United. But if he makes a mistake and United go out, or even if he makes a mistake and United go through but just... Oh, it's going to be nasty. It'll be nasty. But we'll soon see. We'll soon see. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is Onana's time up? Who do you think would replace him if he is gone? And what do you think of United's chances against Lyon tomorrow? Big D thinks it's 50-50, but we'll see. But thoughts in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.